Immigration and the plight of separated families remain topic A tonight in Washington and at the U.S. southern border. But Republicans are still divided over how to change immigration law, and more than 2,300 children are still being held separately from their parents. Congressional correspondent Lisa Desjardins begins our coverage.
Mixed reactions came from across the country today after President Trump's reversal on family separations. From protesters in Milwaukee, angry that entire families will now be detained.
This has long-term devastating effects.
To a sense of relief from undocumented immigrants staying in a private shelter in McAllen, Texas.
This is good news for the Hispanic community because no one has the right to separate children from their parents. Seeing so many kids crying and asking for their moms was simply unfair.
From the White House came a new outreach on the issue. First Lady Melania Trump made a surprise visit to McAllen today, touring a facility holding unaccompanied minors, including a few who were separated from parents as a result of her husband's immigration crackdown at the border.
I heard they're very happy and they love to study.
Absolutely.
They love to go to school. And I also like to ask you how I can help to these children to reunite with their families.
The First Lady's decision to wear a jacket while leaving Washington today, with writing on the back that said, "I don't really care, do you?" prompted questions, but her spokesperson maintained there was no hidden message. On her trip, Mrs. Trump was joined by Alex Azar, Secretary of Health and Human Services, the department tasked with overseeing the children after they're apprehended by Border Patrol. An HHS official confirmed that for now, children separated from parents are still going to foster care homes and facilities all across the country. As for President Trump,
we don't want to have children separated from their parents.
He defended his actions in a cabinet meeting today, but seemed to give conflicting statements on whether families would stay together, saying both this:
I signed a very good executive order yesterday, but that's only limited. No matter how you cut it, it leads to separation ultimately.
And this:
I'm directing HHS, DHS, and DOJ to work together to keep illegal immigrant families together during the immigration process and to reunite these previously separated groups.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection stated today that it would now attempt to keep families together, but detained, as it continues to refer for prosecution adults who cross the border illegally. But people who deal with the families involved are deeply concerned. They say the new order ignores those already separated. Sergio Garcia is a public defender in Texas.
To me, it doesn't mean anything. And for my clients, it doesn't mean anything.
NewsHour talked with Garcia about the more than 2,300 kids separated from their families, asking what is the chance that their parents will ever see them again.
I think it's almost none. And the reason why I feel like that is because there's, as you probably know, parents who come and ask questions about asylum, who ask questions about immigration, they're being detained right now. And they're turning away people who are actually seeking information, like asylum information, which is a right that they have. They have a right to make that claim. So I would say zero.
Still in question, the legality of the president's executive order. The Department of Justice today asked a federal judge to change the rules governing the process and allow for families who enter the country illegally to be held indefinitely, longer than the current limit of 20 days, in an effort to keep them together.
The bill is not passed.
Meanwhile, in the legislative branch, the House of Representatives voted down one conservative immigration proposal and delayed a vote on a compromise that would make the president's new policy of detaining families together permanent. And Judy, that compromise bill doesn't just deal with the topic of child separation, but also a possible path to citizenship for dreamers, those kids brought here illegally as children, and also money for the border wall for the president.
So, Lisa, tell us more about what's going on behind the scenes at the Capitol. You've been there. I know you spent all day today, yesterday there. Why are they having such a hard time coming together on this immigration issue?
Well, I think we see the classic divides the Republican Party has had for a long time now. This movement of this big vote till tomorrow tells us two main things, Judy. It tells us that, one, they do not have the votes for this compromise tonight, but two, that they think they might get them by tomorrow. Key in this will be the Conservative Freedom Caucus. However, they feel like there is some conservative momentum, a move toward limiting immigration more than this compromise bill does. Now, if this compromise bill fails tomorrow, that means the attention turns to the Senate and a possible narrower solution for this child separation issue. I think overall, Judy, in the past 2 days, it's been so wild. Today, the joke at the Capitol was, it felt like and really was the longest day of the year.
But it sounds like they're not close to pulling this off, to coming to an agreement.
Unclear. This compromise bill has a chance tomorrow, but it's still uphill.
Very quickly, the jacket the First Lady wore today got some attention. You talked about it. It had a message, or it said on the back, the style, "I don't care, do you?" The White House said no hidden message, but the president's been tweeting about it.
Apparently, it was an open message. The president tweeted just minutes ago that that phrase, "I really don't care, do you?" refers to the fake news media. He tweeted that Melania Trump is showing that she no longer cares about the media and what the media says. So maybe not a hidden message. The president says it was a message about the media.
Interesting, different from what her office had said.
That's right. They said there was no message, essentially. That was an implication.
Lisa Desjardins, thank you.
Welcome.